The following is a presentation of the United Wrestling Network.
Welcome to Championship Wrestling Gulf Coast, presented by CarShield. I'm Bryce Boudreaux. Folks, we're going to take a summer break from our regularly scheduled Championship Wrestling programming. But for the next few weeks, we will be showcasing special presentations from across the United Wrestling Network. Tonight, you will see the West Coast Pro Wrestling Championship on the line as current MLW star Alexander Hammerstone defends his title against Tresario. Also, former WWE superstar Mike Bennett faces off against current NWA World Tag Team Champion J.R. Kratos. And a throwback championship wrestling match as Rosas defends his formerly held Hollywood Heritage Championship against Kevin Martenson. Let's get to the matches.
And introducing his opponent from Phoenix, Arizona, weighing in 261 pounds, he is the West Coast Pro Wrestling Champion, Hammerstone!
Hammerstone back to defend his West Coast Pro title. We saw him in the inaugural episode of Primetime Live put the title on the line against a very game and very tough E.J. Sparks, three-time Arizona State champion. But Hammerstone certainly was dominant on that night.
E.J. Sparks is a tough guy, but Hammerstone was just too much for him. He is a big dude, and you do not want that guy getting his hands on you.
Tresario just staring daggers through the West Coast Pro champion.
West Coast Pro Wrestling, another one of my home promotions up in Northern California, and Hammerstone, he is just such a physical specimen to behold.
And you hear that snapping of Tresario. It helps him kind of keep pace. It's a bit of a tick, but it's also, I mean, this guy is kind of a twitching time bomb, as my former broadcast colleague Johnny LaQuasto used to call him when he was on Championship Wrestling from Hollywood. Certainly a bit unhinged, but very dangerous, drops levels, and keeping a beat.
An odd duck, at the very least.
He needs to be careful he doesn't make Hammerstone angry. Hammerstone's a big guy, man. And if he wants to break Tresario in half, all he needs to do is pick him up and snap him like a twig.
I think it's fair to say that those are words to live by if you're in there with Hammerstone. Don't make him angry.
No doubt about it. I certainly wouldn't want to be in Tresario's position with Hammerstone whipping me around in the ring, but nice athleticism.
Boy, I think he is flirting with disaster here, Blake.
You know, he doesn't seem like he has it all there, though, upstairs. So I'm not surprised to see him making some mistakes that I wouldn't be in there making. I would not be making that big man angry. I'd just be taking the battle to him.
Tresario calls himself the Red Snapper. I think Hammerstone, the ones that's going to be bright red right now. And anger, look out here. Roll up, trying to get the big man off balance, get a quick win, and make history.
Tresario might have been coming out here to try and intentionally frustrate Hammerstone early on, so Hammerstone gets overly aggressive. Those are two quick pin attempts out of Tresario, all thanks to the anger that he... Wow.
Look at this, sends him up and over. Does Tresario, in your estimation, Blake, and he's looking good right now, what are the keys to victory for the challenger to overcome this incredible athlete in Hammerstone?
He needs to be able to escape after they have interactions. When they collide, he needs to be able to get away, because if they interact and Hammerstone's able to get a hold of him, there's a very high likelihood that he's going to be getting some frequent flyer miles on Hammerstone Airlines.
Hammerstone got a hold of that goatee. Referee in the mix now as well, and I think playtime might be over for the West Coast Pro Wrestling Champion. Having a little fun, stealing a little page out of the playbook. Imitation, the sincerest form of flattery, I'm not sure, but I don't think this slam attempt gonna pay dividends for Tresario. Reverse the other way, Tresario out the back door. Tresario has been elusive, if nothing else, so far, guys. And there he uses that slam, and then the momentum into the elbow drop. Look at the challenger go. Whoa, into a splash, hit the knees as well. I don't know, I've never seen that.
I think Tresario, like Blake was saying, is trying to sort of goad Hammerstone into making a mistake to try and end this early.
And he does a fantastic job of setting up several attacks and combining them together. He just cannot stick around and stay within grabbing distance of Hammerstone when he's done doing these chain wrestling combinations. Otherwise,
big spine buster there. Yeah, go ahead.
Otherwise, he's just going to get picked up and slammed like that. This is why it's so important for him to create distance once he's engaged with Hammerstone and then pull back out before he takes another big slam like that.
Be sure to follow us all across social media. We're on Facebook at Championship Wrestling Gulf Coast, on Instagram at CW Gulf Coast, on Twitter at CW_Gulf Coast, and be sure to watch all of our episodes on YouTube at Championship Wrestling Gulf Coast on YouTube.
Rick, do you have anything to say to expensive car repair?
They don't stand a chance against the money-saving roadside assistant, CarShield, and Slick Rick. They better learn their ABCs, because we're always bringing CarShield. Woo!
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell, and as you know, my passion is to help each and every one of you get the best sleep of your life. That's why I created my new Giza Dreams bed sheets. I started by using the world's best cotton called Giza. It's only grown in a region between the Sahara Desert, the Mediterranean Sea, and the Nile River. It's ultra soft and breathable, but extremely durable. My Giza sheets also include full 21-inch wide pillowcases that will fit over any pillow and deep pocket sheets that will fit over any mattress. The first night you sleep on my sheets, you'll never want to sleep on anything else.
Go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen right now to get your very own MyPillow Giza Dream Sheets. Giza Dream Sheets are available in a variety of colors. Use the promo code and Mike will give you 2 for 1 low price and free shipping. That's right, get 2 for 1 low price plus free shipping.
For the best night's sleep in the whole wide world, visit MyPillow.com.
This is an advertisement for legal services. Important news for farm workers and others exposed to the weed killer paraquat and who were later diagnosed with Parkinson's disease or told by a doctor they might have Parkinson's disease. If you or a loved one worked around the weed killer paraquat and were then diagnosed with Parkinson's disease, call the law offices of Davis & Crump right now at the number below to see if you are eligible for a cash award and medical expenses. Call Davis & Crump right now. Operators are standing by.
You like the action you're seeing? Use hashtag #PrimetimeLive. People on the fight chat excited to see Hammerstone back in the United Wrestling Network ring. It's been such a breakneck pace here so fast, guys, throughout all the surprises. We haven't even really made mention, where in the hell did the Cowboy James Storm come from? Just walks in from backstage and now basically puts himself in this matchup. We knew it was going to be Masters later on, taking on Fred Rosser, and now a huge high-profile triple threat still to come with James Storm involved as well. That's why you got to join us live.
That's why you got to join us live. I thought it was a closed set. Apparently, it's not only that, but we have an open bar as well with that beer that he had. And, you know, Hammerstone has been a fighting champion with that West Coast Pro title. Again, you know, one of my home promotions, Championship Wrestling, presented by West Coast Pro Wrestling, you can catch on ABC7 in the Bay Area.
So watching the action here, Hammerstone's doing a lot of damage to Tresario, but he's not even going for pins. Pissing off Hammerstone early in this matchup might have been a really big mistake for Tresario, because now he's got this big guy angry and trying to hurt him. Not just win, but hurt him.
I'm with you, Blake. I think Hammerstone is having fun just punishing Tresario at this point and enjoying every bit of this. And now he's got that double overhook, really putting the pressure on, sends him in for another big forearm shot. As we say week after week, it's the shots that you don't see coming, especially if they're coming from Meat Mountain.
Yeah, you know, he calls himself the Red Snapper, but he's in there. He's about to get snapped in the half by Hammerstone. Those big shots to the back, he cannot continue to take very many more of those.
The pressure being put on here, you just don't want to be in the grasp of Hammerstone.
It was a bold strategy by Tresario to try and anger Hammerstone, and you see how it's paying off for him. Not very much right now.
He's taking some big kidney shots. Tresario's probably going to be having some blood in his urine after this matchup here this evening.
There you go. He's one of the best color analysts in the business. Just painting a picture here. Bulletproof truth. But yeah, certainly not sugarcoating it. Now another big clubbing shot by Hammerstone, who is just having his way. It's predator and prey right now. But the balance by Tresario, great distance. That's his best friend. An ally right now is that distance, trying to get something going, is the challenger. Flies at him for the crossbody, got caught like a baby, and might get put down for the 3-second nap. Almost broken in half with that backbreaker.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Hammerstone intercepted him, just plucked him right out of the air and comes crashing down. But Tresario refusing to flip over there. That might be saving him here. Cover 2. Tresario able to get out of it.
So Tresario's taking a lot of damage to his kidneys, and what that's going to do is it's going to start shutting his body down. Like I said, Hammerstone's not even really trying to win anymore. He's just trying to hurt this guy. He went for a pin, but this is just pain right now.
Second to go with that backbreaker. I think the only thing snapping from Tresario was his ribs and his vertebrae, but look at this, trying to get back to a vertical base into a desperation jawbreaker, and the big man rocking and reeling a little bit. That had an effect. Can Tresario capitalize? That's the question. No, sir, not yet. Big drop kick by the big man.
Tried to buy himself a little bit of time there with that jawbreaker, and it got him just enough to get away. But he didn't see Hammerstone getting ready to smash him down as he bounced back off the ropes.
Hammerstone just taunting Tresario now with those claps. Nonplussed, I think, by the antics of the Red Snapper earlier on in this matchup, but it's no more fun and games for him.
Pulling that tape off. Saw that in the match with EJ Sparks as well. It's almost symbolic of throwing down the gauntlet. Things are going to get real serious, real fast, and Hammerstone can take something simple like an Irish whip and make it devastating. Case in point.
No doubt about it. He is a colossus in there that is just ravaging Tresario.
One thing about being that big is you don't always have to be necessarily that technical. Sometimes your size and your strength is just too overwhelming, even for an extremely technical grappler like Tresario.
Oh my goodness.
Hear that one in the bay.
Again, tempting fate, yes, is Tresario, guys. Trying to get under the skin, literally there a Hammerstone. We'll see if it pays off. I'll tell you what, if nothing else, Tresario's gonna go out on his sword. He will not, he is no yield, no surcease. He just keeps fighting.
I really respect that because the way that he came out, he was asking for a fight. And Hammerstone's been giving it to him, but he has not backed down despite the damage he's been taking.
Ooh, look at this, nice agility by Tresario, using his surroundings there and pulling the champion into the turnbuckle springboard. Where did we get this from? Missile dropkick, that would take most people off their feet. Not the big man, not the champ.
Hammerstone having the presence of mind to find that corner, to stay on his vertical base. You know, Blake, if you're Tresario, how do you find a weakness in Hammerstone?
You know, I think it's not necessarily about finding the weakness. I think it's about avoiding his strengths. And I think Tresario's going to be able to do that by continuing to use his movement, not allowing himself to become attached to Hammerstone, continuing these strikes and creating distance after he lands them.
Series of strikes, the step up in Zaguri, the drop kick, and Tresario starts to close in perhaps on the West Coast Pro Championship, which is on the line in this matchup. Up top again, moonsault press. He's got the champ in the center of the ring. Tresario finds a way, no.
Wow, I thought that might have been enough to put the big man down.
Incredible action. Tresario just did enough to hang in there, and perhaps the champion got a little overconfident.
He's doing more than hanging in there now. He's making forward progress. This is very impressive from the Red Snapper, and he is still pushing forward, pushing through that pain.
Heart is something that you can't teach. You can teach a guy, wow.
Look out here, big German suplex. Well, you can't teach it, but he better have a lot of heart if he's gonna survive this onslaught by the champion. Series of suplex, oh, turns it in almost. Hold on, is that gonna do it? Yes, just enough.
Here is your winner, and still West Coast Pro Wrestling Champion, Hammerstone.
I think Hammerstone might have been thinking Nightmare Pendulum. Trying to counter was Tresario, but Hammerstone, in essence, turned it into a jackhammer. And again, when you're as big and strong as Hammerstone, it doesn't always have to be pretty, Blake. It can be just as effective, just the same.
If you like what you saw on this episode, be sure to tune in every Monday night at 7 p.m. Central on our official Facebook page for Championship Wrestling Gulf Coast Recap. Join me as we take an in-depth look at the newest episodes of Championship Wrestling Gulf Coast. We'll have an open discussion about everything Championship Wrestling, so tune in. Let your voice be heard every Monday night at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time on CWGC Recap, live on Facebook.
If you currently do not get health insurance through your employer, or if you do not have health insurance, or if you just got divorced or married, had a baby, moved, or lost your health insurance coverage, listen closely. You are eligible for a new health care plan using Health Insurance America. Get coverage for doctor visits, prescriptions, hospital, dental, and vision for as little as $25 a week with copays as low as $0. Talk to a live healthcare consultant right now.
1-800-615-0487.
Attention! If you've had a hernia surgery after 2006 and suffered from serious side effects such as infection, chronic pain, organ damage, mesh shrinkage, or mesh migration, you could be eligible for financial compensation. Call the law offices of Wright & Schulte right now at the number on your screen, or visit meshjustice.com now. Ethicon, a subsidiary of Johnson & Johnson, has withdrawn its PhysioMesh flexible composite mesh from the market. Again, if you've had complications from your hernia surgery after 2006, you could be eligible for financial compensation. We can find out what type of devices were used in your surgery. Call the law offices of Wright & Schulte immediately at the number on your screen, or visit meshjustice.com now. You deserve justice, and the call is free. And there is no fee unless we win your case. Call now for your free case evaluation. Again, call the law offices of Wright & Schulte immediately at the number on your screen, or visit meshjustice.com now.
The following contest is a singles match scheduled for one fall. Introducing first, from Sacramento, California, weighing in at 305 pounds, the most feared J.R. Kratos!
Look at that size of this guy, the most feared J.R. Kratos. And he's got all the intangibles, Blake. He's trained with Ralph Gracie for his ground game. He's also trained with the babyface assassin, Josh Barnett. And that's something you can certainly respect.
I always say technique is king, but if you can get some size and strength behind your technique, you are unstoppable. And this is a big boy with fantastic technique. Let's see what Mike Bennett plans on doing with him.
Like I said, James, I bet he's got a chip on his shoulder that he wasn't included in the big tournament.
Yeah, look no further. I mean, yes, obviously great physique, big guy, but look into Kratos' eyes and you can see the intensity.
And introducing his opponent from Boston, Massachusetts, weighing in at 206 pounds, Mike Bennett!
Mike Bennett claiming in the interview earlier that at the top of the program that he is a pissed off Mike Bennett after what happened last time in his bid for the illustrious 10 pounds of gold. What a wild main event match that was with Nick Aldis. I mean, within the first minute, the referee was out of action, and then Mike Bennett got tombstone on the ramp, fought his way back, hit not one but two Hail Marys on the champ, came within an eyelash of defeating the real world's champion.
You'll see losses do two things to people. It'll either deflate their confidence or they're going to come back better than they were before. And I have a feeling after hearing what he said earlier on the program, he's going to come back even better than he was in that Aldis match.
And although Bennett was pissed off at the start of the program, he's probably feeling a little better now that he knows he'll be in that field, the Elite Eight, if you will, in the United Wrestling Network World Championship Tournament. He drew Davey Boy Smith Jr., that quarterfinal matchup in 2 weeks, but you cannot look past this man.
Can't look past him, and again, look in the eyes of Kratos. Yeah, you might be right, Todd. He might feel incredibly snubbed. He has a statement that he wants to make.
I will say this would be a fantastic, almost warm-up match for a Davey Boy Smith. Big guy, great catch wrestler. This would be a very good, I don't know if I'd call it a warm-up match, because Kratos is a big, scary dude.
That's not a warm-up for anybody.
well, would Bennett's confidence be completely shattered if he comes up on the short end of that?
All good questions to ask leading into this 8-man tournament for the world title.
You know, and Kratos is certainly going to turn some heads here. Championship committee chose their field of 8. I think they put in some long hours and we're burning the candle at both ends and the midnight oil and all those things to get this group of 8. But, you know, if Kratos gets the win here, he kind of makes a bid that he should have been in that group of 8.
Definitely makes a case for himself. But look, there's 8 spots, and if you want Kratos in there, it means you have to take somebody out, and that's a tough call in and of itself. But Kratos certainly is a very decorated competitor. He's been all over the world. Did a 7-week tour with All Japan, faced the likes of Jun Akiyama and Tajiri.
You know, if Kratos really wants to get into that 8-man tournament, all he's got to do is rip Bennett's arm off tonight, and he might be the replacement. Who knows?
There you go. Yeah, don't say it too loud. Don't give him any ideas. And Mike Bennett, you know, going into that match for the NWA World's Heavyweight title, said that he was fighting to get honor back to his name, back to his family. So you mentioned it, a single consecutive loss here on Primetime Live. And you got to imagine would put those doubts right back in his head, would really damage his psyche. And the big man using some of that grappling early.
I'm going to throw a name out, and that's Jim Braddock. And that's who I think of when I see Mike Bennett. Somebody, you know, from the boxing world back in the day that learned what he was fighting for, and that was for his family, and that motivated him to become a world champion, and I see that same motivation in Mike Bennett.
Yeah, the Cinderella man, you know, James Braddock, but again, we got to mention that Mike Bennett has the credentials. Okay, here's a guy that was an IWGP Tag Team Champion, a Ring of Honor Tag Team Champion, X-Division Champion in Impact Wrestling. But he wants the world title, and he'll have his opportunity. And he's got a big challenge, though, standing in his way in JR Kratos.
You got to respect that Bennett's not backing down at all. He just went head-on with Kratos. Neither guy went down, but I give him a ton of respect because Kratos is significantly bigger than he is. Another big collision. Man, Kratos is over 6 feet tall. Look at how wide his limbs are. That guy's built like a 6-foot-tall fire hydrant.
Guy just lives, you know, power lifter, grappler. So he's not a one-trick pony. He's not going to be what you would expect, just all power, all striking slams. If it goes to the ground, he's got great submission grappling as well. As I mentioned, trained under Ralph Grayson. Swing and a miss though, using his speed, veteran tactics. There, man, like a big defensive lineman just bull rushing to the backfield there. Close the gap in a hurry. Did Kratos.
Yeah, and this matchup for Mike Bennett, very different pace than what happened with him when he took on Nick Aldis. That one went off the rails in a hurry. This one, much more methodical, but as it spills to the outside now, maybe a little bit deja vu for Mike Bennett.
Bennett has got to continue to use his agility. He does not want to stand toe-to-toe with Kratos. Big strikes. He cannot keep trading those.
That echoed off the walls of Thunder Studios. Thunder Studios living up to its name there with that Thunder shot.
The epicenter of pro wrestling, Thunder Studios, absolutely living up to its namesake there.
Boy, big shots, big strikes. I mean,
Bennett's got to change the game plan. He needs to turn this into a grappling match. This striking is not paying off for him. Earlier on, he did a better job of doing some technical wrestling on Kratos. He has got to get the match back into that style of battle.
Yeah, I'm with you. I don't think Bennett's going to win a stand-up war here with the most feared. But maybe, you know, trying to get the big guy to pass himself out. But that is a dangerous game to play.
That's definitely a game of Russian roulette, having those big lunchbox hands swinging at your head.
That is not a proposition I would take Kratos up on, to be getting nailed with those. But
well, where's Kratos going here, though?
What's on his mind?
At CarShield, we're always looking for the brightest talent.
Thank you for calling CarShield. How may I help you?
This styling, profiling, limousine ride, wheeling, dealing son of a gun is here to tell you that CarShield administrators make sure you don't have to pay for expensive auto repairs. Woo!
We want our employees to be themselves.
Woo!
We encourage teamwork.
And woo! Where's my yogurt? Woo! How'd that taste?
But at the end of the day, it's all about the customer.
CarShield's doing it better than anybody else alive. They're the money-saving, roadside assistant, tow truck getting, rental car providing, son of a guns protecting you from expensive car breakdowns. And one more thing, CarShield cars go farther. Woo!
Call 800-952-1286.
Do you use Viagra or Cialis? Have you been thinking about trying Viagra or Cialis? What if we can promise you the same results for less than $3 a pill? If you're paying $20 or more a pill for Viagra, you're getting taken to the cleaners. Our pill delivers the exact same results for less than $3. We'll do the math for you. You'll save more than $16 a pill for the same results. Want more? We'll give you 40 blue pills or 40 yellow pills for $99 and add 4 more pills free. You save more than $500. Stop overpaying for expensive prescriptions. You don't have to be a rocket scientist to know what to do next. You need to call now and get your 44 pills for just $99. Stop overpaying for Viagra. Call us anytime, day or night, and start saving big money for the exact same results. Have your credit card ready. Ordering is fast and easy, with your pills delivered to your door in a non-marked package. Call now.
As it were, but it's costing him big time. You know, if he gets by Kratos, what is he going to have left going into that tournament?
Well, you're not kidding. I mean, his quarterfinal match with Dave Boy Smith Jr. is 2 weeks away, and he could be feeling some residual damage if this continues. I mean, he is really getting taken to task by the big man. Not where you want to be. I mean, if I'm Mike Bennett after what happened on Primetime Live, I don't get anywhere near that ramp.
No, never again. And, you know, Bulletproof, you may have been prophetic here because he is just taking so much damage that Kratos might have to be the one to move on. But Bennett switching momentum now.
Oh, he's looking for that Hail Mary. His version of that pile driver. He almost won the 10 pounds of gold when he spiked Nick Aldis. But look at the lower body. Those are tree trunk legs. It'd be tough to get him up in this, and now reversal the other way.
Bennett's got to do everything he can to get down from here. Oh, lucky. That would have been a big slam.
Super kick. Backs the big man up. If only a few steps, picks him up. Oh, the strength of this. Death Valley driver on the ramp by Bennett.
Bennett evening things out with that big slam on the ramp.
Absolutely turned the tide there. So impressive on one good leg to get Kratos up in that Death Valley driver position and to hit it on the ramp.
Had roles been switched there, Bennett might in 2 weeks not have been in that tournament. He might have been in a hospital bed. He's been taking a lot of damage tonight.
And you mentioned it, how, you know, and that superhuman effort there, Herculean effort by Bennett to get him up, get that Death Valley driver, and let's take a look at it. And to your point, James, how did that leg hold up? But he might have driven that knee right back into that ramp as well. But not often do you see pain etched on the face of Kratos. I think Kratos has a little fear in his soul right now after eating that big shot.
Yeah, that look of intensity maybe being wiped away into that of cover.
It's got to be a big motivational thing for Bennett, knowing that he's damaged the big man. He's got him reeling back a little. If he can continue this pressure and not let JR Kratos get a second to recover, he could definitely take control of this matchup.
Fighting with everything he's got is Mike Bennett. Iron Mike Bennett, he was, has been known as the miracle in the past. It might take a miracle to get by this absolute monster in Kratos. And this thing, it's going back to a slugfest, guys. You gotta love it. A heavyweight brawl here. Two great competitors just going toe-to-toe.
Nothing like watching two big men exchange punches.
That's just not where I'd want to be if I was Bennett, but it's working for him, or at least it was.
It was, yeah. You can make that past tense now, pal. After that, he ran right into that big forearm. Full head of steam. Oh, and what a clothesline by Kratos. And down goes Bennett, but Kratos unable to immediately capitalize, but it may be a moot point, because that might have been enough. Here we go, looking for the victory, and Bennett continues to fight on.
I can't believe Bennett was able to get the shoulder up there, because that clothesline, it sounded like it rattled Mike's bones. I mean, that was some power.
That could have decapitated any other human being. That was a huge lariat.
Yeah, I mean, you're not kidding, and obviously you got to think that it's going to be very tough. We're creeping up on Halloween, but right now, no home decoration has more cobwebs than the head of Mike Bennett, and he's going to have to clear him. He's in big-time trouble.
Well, I will say, in his 2 performances on Primetime Live, is that he does seem to always keep in the back of his mind what he is fighting for. We saw it against Nick Aldis. He didn't want to tap because he was fighting for his family, but he might be out of it. He's able to escape, goes low with that kick. Smart move.
Yeah, sound strategy on the big guy. Take out that wheel.
Exactly. If you can take his legs out from under him, you can really take away his ability to move, attack, and do a whole bunch of things. And if you can put JR on his back and get on top of him, you significantly reduce his ability to use his size and strength.
Yeah, you take away that size discrepancy when you can make him horizontal. But even grabbing a body part, he's just such a massive human being. His body is just so thick everywhere, it's tough to execute a move against this guy.
Bennett just has to stop going for such big maneuvers. If he does slightly smaller chain wrestling techniques and gets Kratos to his back with these big slams, more than once have not paid off. Well, maybe he gets him here.
I agree with you, but think of what the Death Valley driver did. I mean, he's got to shoot his shot. He's got to throw it all in there. Both guys have on their magnetic boots, and it's Bennett that gets it done. Digs down deep, scores with the suplex.
On one leg, he has got to get it covered. This could be his best opportunity to get past Kratos here. He gets it.
Yep, he's able to a kick out with authority.
And Kratos is coming back to life here. He might have just eaten a big slam, but look at the look on his face. Look at Mike Bennett.
Yeah, both guys have got their war face on, and this has been a war since the opening bell. Bell to bell, you take them to hell, and that's what these two are doing. This has been one hell of a fight. Look at this. Catches him. Slam. All the body weight down. It's been a great effort, but it's for all for not for Bennett, but no. Finds a way to kick out.
Just an absolute walloping melee between Kratos and Mike Bennett. I cannot believe that both of these competitors are still in it and still pushing forward.
Kratos has got to be wondering, what does he have to do to put Mike Bennett away? I mean, man, he's hit him with as much striking as he can. Huge power slam there. What else does he have in his arsenal that can stop Bennett if that hasn't yet?
Bennett is just willing himself on. Oh, nice roll up though. Here by Kratos. Look at the power. Look at the power by Kratos. Just able to get, the arm came out. Now the spear. He loves that as step one. He loves to follow it up with the Hail Mary, but I don't know. It's 4th down. Can he complete? Can he convert?
Bennett scored with the spear, but then immediately began grabbing his shoulder, obviously still favoring that knee. He is losing limbs every time he scores with something on Kratos.
Kratos might have lost a limb there too. We saw him try and muscle up Bennett to slam him. Not a whole lot of pretty technique to it, and it looked like he might have hurt himself.
Oh, here we go. Didn't work before. Going back to it, looking for the Hail Mary, looking to throw the long bomb. Can he get the big man up? Kratos trying to sprawl. Kratos counters into a double leg, steps over. I think Kratos was looking to maybe lock him in that game changer. That's how he likes to put people away, but wise to it there was Bennett. He's another shot, my God. Bennett's gonna be eating only soft foods for a while after this.
I give him a ton of credit for standing there with that monster, but he's got to switch the game plan up. He's not here to earn respect, he's here to win.
Kratos just rearranging Bennett's face with that slap.
Oh, but telegraph that one. Out here, beautiful high impact maneuver there by Bennett.
It's a much smarter high impact maneuver where he didn't try and lift him all the way up. It was just enough to get the slam back down. Now he's going to the top.
Boy, does he have enough left in that leg. And, just after being attacked earlier. Oh, look at the big man. Vertical leap. Flying knee by Kratos. Cuts him off.
I was going to say it looked like Kratos was finally running out of steam, but would be speaking too soon. Kratos once again in the driver's seat and looking for something big that could finish off Mike Bennett here, perhaps a superplex.
And he pops and floats over, and he's not done. He's not done. The most feared looking to live up to it, but a cradle inside. Now is that going to do it? No, too much power. Kicks out. Wow, what a series here, back and forth. Who wants it more? Who can get the win?
Man, if Kratos is at what he's got to do to
There's the spear. He caught him again, Blake.
This could be it right here.
Oh, he wants it. He wants it back. Hail Mary.
Full of pain. That's got to be it.
Here's the cover. I wouldn't go that far just yet. Kratos looking to kick out here. Cannot.
Here is your winner, Mike Bennett!
As struggled to stand for a shower, and after falling in the tub, I felt it was only a matter of time before I broke a hip.
If you worry about the risk of an accidental fall getting in or out of the bath, could a walk-in tub be right for you? Search Consumer Affairs walk-in tubs to find great deals, like a free shower package upgrade.
Once you turn 60, you have to realize there are limitations, whether you want to admit it or not. My walk-in tub has helped me to continue to enjoy a much better quality of life.
Why decide between a walk-in tub or shower when you could have both? Call now and we'll upgrade your new Safe Step walk-in tub purchase with our exclusive free shower package.
My husband said walk-in tubs are for old people, but I was more interested in feeling young and staying in the game. That's why I recommend a walk-in tub to everyone.
Call 800-928-0124. That's 800-928-0124. 800-928-0124. Call now.
Is your bathroom looking old and worn out? Want to update it, but you don't know where to start? Then let BCI Bath & Shower show you how to turn that old bath into an aisle of beauty and functionality.
Remodeling our bathroom was a big decision for us.
They didn't make a mess out of our house at all. And at the end of the day, we had a beautiful new bathroom.
For a limited time, be one of the first 100 callers who schedule a free in-home consultation and receive $500 off. Factory-trained and certified installers made in the USA and discounts for seniors and military.
Tonight, Nature Boy Ric Flair and CarShield team up against the expensive Car Repair Brothers for the championship belt.
Woo! Let me go on record and say Nature Boy and CarShield will eliminate expensive car repairs when you're the greatest alive, the heavyweight champion, and have CarShield as your partner, you can't lose. Woo! Expensive car repairs, Ric Flair and CarShield are coming for you. Woo! CarShield cars go farther.
Call 800-952-1286.
And, you know, Martenson rocking a little bit of a new look, but also a familiar one. Those trunks that he's wearing, he wore those the first time he faced Ray Rosas back in 2012 in a victory, seeing if he can repeat history here tonight on Primetime Live.
Certainly bodes well, perhaps, as champion and challenger lock up. Ray Rosas and Kevin Martenson, both great veterans. Really originals in the United Wrestling Network, dating all the way back to the days of the Galaxy Theater. I remember Kevin Martenson as a member of the Rock Nest Monsters, just using the ramp there at the Galaxy as a runway. And we've seen Martenson in action as he controls the wrist here on Primetime Live with a victory over Danny Limelight, and we know how impressive that is.
Yeah, Limelight's been turning a lot of heads, and so did Martenson in that victory. And speaking of heads, I know he'll be looking to dump Ray Rosas on his. He's going to try to hit that brainbuster. I'm sure he's put a lot of people down with it.
Ray Rosas defeated Watts. Watts was a dominant Heritage champion. We've seen Watts on this program in singles action with Eli Drake, tagging with the Pope as well. And Ray Rosas defeated Watts. Watts issued an open challenge. The veteran rolled him up, got the better of him, used his veteran wares, and feeling out process, because neither one of these guys wants to make a pivotal early mistake.
Martinson's definitely looking for some escapes and some counters there. And now he's able to counter Ray Rosas for his own headlock. It's been a great back and forth technical match thus far.
Sure has, but got to tell you, James, this match certainly has powder keg written all over it once the pace quickens.
Yeah, no doubt. It's just, I think, just a matter of time until one of them sees their opening and they're just going to start unleashing. Could be right now.
Right, the champion is BHK, Kevin Martenson, and the champ instinctively getting to the safety of the corner. Let's talk briefly and enlighten some of our fans that are new to the United Wrestling Network and the history and the prestige of the Heritage title. I mentioned Watts has held it. Scrap Iron Adam Pearce, whose likeness is on the main plate of the title. Eli Drake, former champion, Scorpio Sky, TJ Perkins, Willie Mack, Russ Taylor, Yuma, the list goes on and on. It has been hotly contested for since 2006 when it made its debut.
There's definitely been a lot of history with that title. That's why they call it the Heritage title. We're going to see who is going to take it home here tonight on Primetime Live.
Heritage title has been the main prize on Championship Wrestling from Hollywood, of course, other than when the 10 pounds of gold was on the line throughout the years. But we will start the road to the United Wrestling Network title. And the challenger went right up the middle with the kick, German suplex, and the challenger is rolling, going high. High impact, the crossbody, new champion to be crowned. No, not yet.
That was a nice barrage there by Martenson. You know, that started off, Ray kind of sucker punched him a little bit. You saw Martenson check his jaw a little bit, walk around, and then came back with that big boot, which set off that entire barrage of attacks.
And James, if my math is correct, the Heritage title is the 9th championship to be defended thus far in just the few-week history of Primetime Live. Big-time championship history has taken place. We crowned a new NWA national champion in Trevor Murdoch. Just last week, the Pope became the NWA World Television Champion. What an emotional time that was. Will more history be made? We got 2 big title matches here tonight.
You know, TK, there's a reason why people are saying the hashtag Primetime Live is championship television, and it's for bouts just like this, and what we're going to see later on tonight as well. You never know what can happen, what title is going to be defended, or it could change hands at the drop of a hat.
Ray Rosas tried to put on the brakes there again. These two know each other quite well. Look out, might be looking for the brain buster. That's how he's put a lot of people away, has Martenson. Elects to hang him out to dry instead, measuring him. Martenson's so dangerous.
Martenson's doing a good job of attacking Ray Rosas and starting to damage him. Ray's the champion. Whoa. Ray's the champion, and he's a very tough guy. We haven't really seen any pin attempts since that big German suplex earlier in the match. Then Martenson's being smart about applying damage before trying to get the pin.
And James, we know that Martenson will use that ramp. He hit the brainbuster on Danny Limelight. That was the beginning of the end of that matchup. Now using the ramp to clothesline the champion. Outside, inside, catches him with the drop.
Martenson's able to use his surroundings very well as he's going to go for the cover. Could be all here. Ray Rosas managing to stay alive, and thus far it looks Ray Rosas has played a sort of a very careful game plan. Put that into the action right now. Martenson's looking to open it up right now, and I think he wanted to take advantage of that environment a little bit more than he got the opportunity to.
As they say, Blake, sometimes the best offense is a good defense. If you'll recall, Rosas was getting thrown every which way but loose in that match with Watts, but he bided his time, was able to catch the big man who had gotten overconfident, rolled him up, and won the Heritage title.
So I think one thing that people don't realize is that beating somebody up is exhausting. And we saw that with Watts, where he might not have been crazy exhausted, but he was tired enough that he got caught slipping. And I'm not sure if that's what Ray's planning on doing tonight, but there's not a lot of longevity in that type of game plan. Hoping that your opponent punches himself out and gets tired of beating you up.
Oh, look at that, the veteran instincts there of the champion, taking the floor from under the challenger and takes him off his feet with a big clothesline.
Looks like Martenson caught the back and his head on that, so he's been dividends on 2 different body parts. Martenson's staying alive right now, but he's looking a little foggy as he goes here, and Rose is using the very beard of Martenson, rubbing it in his face.
At CarShield, we're always looking for the brightest talent.
Thank you for calling CarShield. How may I help you?
This styling, profiling, limousine ride, wheeling, dealing son of a gun is here to tell you that CarShield administrators make sure you don't have to pay for expensive auto repairs. Woo!
We want our employees to be themselves.
Woo!
We encourage teamwork.
And woo! Where's my yogurt? Woo! How'd that taste?
But at the end of the day, it's all about the customer.
CarShield's doing it better than anybody else alive. They're the money-saving, roadside assistant, tow truck getting, rental car providing, son of a guns protecting you from expensive car breakdowns. And one more thing, CarShield cars go farther. Woo!
Call 800-952-1286.
You've decided to go back to school. Good for you. So, which would you rather do? Get up early, get dressed, drive to college, find a parking spot, walk across campus, only to sit in a giant lecture hall, or earn your degree from home with Independence University?
I have 2 small children, a 10-year-old and a 4-year-old, so the online format and the flexibility was a must.
I could work at my own pace, and I was still able to take care of my kids while going to school.
We'll even provide you with a new laptop and tablet to keep when you graduate, and a personal student success team.
I have had such personalized attention, and it's an online degree.
If I had a question on the coursework, I always got my answer within an hour or 2.
I will never be able to express what I owe this institution.
Independence University, online, but never alone.
Call 1-800-768-2670, 1-800-768-2670.
Attention! If you've had a hernia surgery after 2006 and suffered from serious side effects such as infection, chronic pain, organ damage, mesh shrinkage, or mesh migration, you could be eligible for financial compensation. Call the law offices of Wright & Schulte right now at the number on your screen. Ethicon, a subsidiary of Johnson & Johnson, has withdrawn its PhysioMesh flexible composite mesh from the market. Call the law offices of Wright & Schulte immediately at the number on your screen or visit meshjustice.com now.
And you got a title or a tournament match later on. Peter Avalon, Ray Rosas, longtime partner of Peter Avalon, collectively known as PP Ray. Rosas held the tag team titles with Avalon. Big shot upstairs by Martenson. This guy, his whole body is a weapon. He knows how to use his body as a projectile and create a lot of damage.
You can definitely see the experience of both these guys. If they're able to get a slight step ahead of the other guy, they can make big gains very quickly, just like this right now. If Ray's able to get up, he might be able to take advantage of this right now.
I don't think Martenson's going to get up. I mean, look at this. Take another look at this. Going for the dive to the outside, catches nothing but ramp.
Nothing doing for Martenson, and that could be the absolute turning point in this matchup. I don't know if he's going to be able to continue. He is still out there on the rampway, not really stirring.
And Rosas, of course, will retain the title with a count out if Martenson can't make his way back into the squared circle. Man, oh man, live by the sword, die by the sword with that high-risk offense.
You know, that's one of the things that happens when we say it's high risk. Sometimes you're gambling. We saw him go to the top rope earlier, and it did not pay off. We saw him use another high-risk maneuver right now. He might gets back there just in time. But that high risk almost did not pay off. That was a gamble.
I think for the challenger, you know, Martenson was thinking, well, if it ain't broke, why fix it? His back might be broke after that. But I mean, he utilized the ramp in that match with Danny Limelight to score the victory. Figured why not go back for that? Paid in a big way, and that back has got a bullseye, and the veteran champion will absolutely take advantage.
He absolutely will, and you know, Rosas has shown his ability to do that over the course of years. He's going to go to a cover. Smart move. Martenson able to stay alive, but obviously favoring that back, as you can already see it starting to turn red, and Ray Rosas is seeing red, going to absolutely focus on that for the rest of the match if he's smart.
Variation of the bow and arrow here, bit of a surfboard as well, just that back being strung. I mean, he is just on the torture chamber and now turns it into a pinning. I believe the shoulders are down as well. Double trouble for the challenger.
Very smart veteran move there to start attacking the back. We've seen the damage that he had, especially after Martenson had his on his back, after landing on the ramp like that. You didn't get the pin, so now he's starting to punish him with the submission. I'd like to see him go back to another back submission.
And that big miss and big dive to the outside, I think, got this matchup into the pace that Rosas wants. That more methodical pace really benefits the champion. Look at the leverage here. Beautiful reversal. There's that one half. There's the smash and dash by the champion. And now the champion picking up the pace, going up top, drop kick.
Yeah, right to that injured back. And like you said, this definitely favors the pace that Ray Rosas wants to work. It favors the champion who has the advantage.
Go kick out.
Martenson again able to get the shoulder up, but he is in a bad way. And, you know, he has waited a long time for this. So to make a mistake like that could cost him, you know, he's got to be kicking himself.
That's one of the problems with being so enthusiastic about going after the victory. He really wants that belt.
I think there's some mutual respect here, Blake. You know, Rosas said, hey, just stay down. You know, after what happened, he knows that the challenger might be injured here. Doesn't, you know, these guys have been in the United Wrestling Network since day one. Now looking for perhaps an abdominal stretch, which will test the back as well. You know, Rosas maybe showing a little mercy here.
Yeah, you know, and I'm actually surprised to see that because the Ray Rosas.
So we thought. Well, that's their theory is right out the window, guys. Shows what I know.
I was going to say the Ray Rosas that I've seen under the United Wrestling Network. I mean, big changes have happened in his life recently since winning that Heritage belt. But I don't know if we're going to see that type of personality change in Ray. But you're right, he was seeming to kind of show some mercy there when Martenson was trying to get back up earlier.
Suckered him in, maybe the official as well. And Rosas is very dangerous off the top. He loves that big elbow drop, the method to the madness, little homage, if you will, to the This is the place but he hits nothing but space in the middle of the canvas. Nobody home, and now both champion and challenger have crashed and burned.
And now maybe Ray Rosas has a target on that arm as he came up empty-handed. There's no telling what sort of damage was done to that, coming up with that miss. Martenson getting some key breathing room now, though, I think more important than anything in this matchup if he wants to keep his hopes alive.
Absolutely, that recovery window is huge for Martenson. Hopefully he's able to capitalize a little bit on this. Both guys are still very injured.
Oh, look at this, using the ropes as an ally there. Martenson is an expert at using his environment, as we mentioned, hangs him out to dry, and he might be softening him for that big brain buster when you see that he's attacking the head and neck region here. Blake,
we're absolutely seeing a second win out of Martenson. He realizes how injured he is and that he needs to start doing something desperate if he wants to win this matchup.
Back in the ring, let's go.
He's got to dig down deep. He's got to pull out the heavy hitters if he wants to pry that Heritage Championship away from Ray Rosas. And again, he's had this one circled. He's wearing the same tights as when he first faced Ray Rosas. So you know this is just of paramount importance to him.
We heard it at the top of the program. First shot in 14 years. Martenson, this means everything to him. The challenger doesn't want to squander this opportunity. Who knows when and if he'll get another one. If he does, maybe think of brainbuster, but now the back. Again, the residual damage of that dive earlier on, Blake.
That's sometimes what happens where you not only are going to take away a guy's ability to defend stuff, but you're also going to take away his ability to offensively attack them. And we saw that there with the slam. Whoa! Look at this. My goodness. Martenson dug deep for that. Oh, you see how much that took out of him right there.
That might have been desperation there. Adrenaline can do wonders, but it doesn't last long.
Can't sustain that, and it might have been the last gasp for Martenson, but as of right now, both men still in this. Again, Martenson trying to will that back to cooperate so he can win this elusive championship.
I know, again, the German suplex into the corner. Hitting that turnbuckle hard and heavy. He already attacked the neck. That's going to do it. History made. Oh, just a sliver of light between the hand of the official and the canvas.
Wow, Martenson is a competitor because I didn't think he had much left in the tank after that last slam, and he is digging deep, pulling out everything that he has got in the tank. He's got to be running on fumes.
Could be sharpshooter time, but no, Ray Rosas is going to the eyes. Smart move, but I don't have to like it.
Well, you know, you don't have to like it. One of the oldest tricks in the book, one of the most effective. The super kick as well, and now sends him back first into the post, into the corner yet again. And look at the anguish etched all over the face of the challenger.
That's got to be demoralizing for Martenson. He was getting close. He was starting to build some momentum back up. He was about to slap on that sharpshoot before he got stuck in the eye by Ray Rosas. And I'm not surprised because we've seen Ray time and time again do what he has to do to retain the belt. So I'm not surprised, but it's disappointing to see.
Finds a way. I mean, again, especially, you got to talk about maybe a cheap tactic, but how about the resiliency of the Heritage Champion? You know, those two big German suplex, one right into the corner, and look at who's standing tall right now.
Yeah, and he signaled that it could be the end for Martenson. How much does Martenson have left? He's going to keep fighting. But he couldn't fight his way out of that cover.
He calls out the bet of Rosas and gets the win.
Here is your winner and still Hollywood Heritage Champion, Ray Rosas.
Gutsy performance by both champion and challenger, a real testament to the history and the great competition that you will find in the United Wrestling Network.